Up next, we have arguably the strongest Invincible, at least for this age, known as Sinister Mark. Full transparency, to me this variant has the #1 costume in the series. I mean, the black and yellow color scheme with the cape, everything just works perfectly, but even if his costume wasn't this good, Sinister Mark is still interesting for other reasons. To start with, in his reality, Invincible has a personal grudge against Angstrom Levy, and personally hunts him down, taunts him, and then squishes his son right in front of him. Sometime after that, he was then recruited for the Invincible War, and faces off against a hero called Duncan Rosenblatt, otherwise known as Firebreather. What's interesting here is that despite Duncan being a hero, Sinister Mark mentions how in his universe, Firebreather is a villain and one of the toughest monsters he's ever faced. In the main timeline though, he's apparently nothing special, and we can assume he lost because 2 days later, Sinister Mark was seen relaxing over one of the many destroyed cities. In terms of personality, he normally speaks like he's superior to everyone else, and was the de facto leader out of all the alternate Marks. An example of this is how when Angstrom ordered them to find Mark from the main timeline, Sinister Mark was the only one to speak up and argue that they'd already done enough. On top of that, when the variants were starving in the Wasteland dimension, he was the one who started the cannibalism, even convincing the other Marks to join him. Now, there are a couple reasons why earlier I said he was the strongest, and the first is that he single-handedly killed Viltrum Invincible. We know for a fact that he did this by himself, because at this point in time, he and Mohawk Mark were the only ones left, and Mohawk had stopped working with him. Secondly, it's clear that even Mohawk thought that Sinister Mark was the strongest, since he didn't try to fight him one-on-one and chose to fly away rather than facing him alone. He also wasn't even sure if they could beat him in a 2v1, but luckily when the main Mark did show up, they were able to win. As he dealt the finishing blow, Mohawk described Sinister Mark as the worst variant, but in this video he's the best because he gets a 5 out of 5 for costume, personality, strength, and an overall bonus star for his sinister presence.